start a date and work out. I understand the storm drain issue, but you're gonna be 30 days before you really get in the dirt on this project from your anticipated start date with all the snow and everything that we see, and this is an excessive snow year. So you're gonna be right on top of the main things that happen in the fall in Red Lodge. That's right where you're gonna be trying to complete your construction, or you could be away from that if you reverse it.
And contractually, our working time starts April 15th, so for every day we don't work in April, we lose those days to work.
Does that mean you're gonna work later? I mean, I know that, I didn't grow up here, but. So they're smooth to start with, and they'll end smooth too. So they'll be starting smooth, they'll end smooth. You've had your hand up for a long time back there.
What do you think is going to be realistically the end date when you're finished? Counting in weather and all weird things that happen. Seriously.
Okay, I gotta be careful here, because what I say, I believe I'll be held to.
Give us a ballpark, knowing that things do come up.
We want to be finished by like October, November with the entire project. We are allowed to go into a second season, which would be next spring. Our plan is right now, our goal is to be done by the end of October this year. That's the plan.
So these dates don't include the.
Question about signage away from town. What's the plan? Is there a plan for warning signage, God forbid, at the highway? You know, the interstate that says don't go to Red Lodge because their roads are all tore up. Construction expected delays, any of that kind of stuff. Any? Yeah. No. Okay.
And I'm gonna we had quite a discussion.
What's the
about
first
this.
warning sign you will read when you drive from the north coming into Red Lodge? What's the location of that sign?
Well,
What word?
we were talking about that during the chamber this morning. Patty, do you mind piping in just a little bit on this one too?
Sure, yeah, we discussed that, whether we wanted it at Rockville or just north of town of Red Lodge. And so we decided not to do it at Rockville, obviously, because they have the option to turn. So we all discussed together, closer to Red Lodge, just before the construction zone, so people are aware of it, but that they don't have an option to turn at that point. They're still gonna enjoy businesses. We talked about the electronic signage that MDT has, and they told us how many characters we have. There's 3 lines, there's different phases. So we can choose as a community what we want to say on that sign within those parameters, like businesses are open, come enjoy downtown Red Lodge, you know, so.
Easy access to historic
And that
downtown.
signage is going to be provided by MDT.
MDT, Stefan offered that, yep, one electronic sign. For
One
the
electronic sign.
one at that
Okay,
point.
so what's the
Mhm.
plan for Highway 78?
Highway 78 and MDT, where's Stefan? So, and that's another part of our conversations to date was addressing the signage needs. We had to identify what signage options were available right now from the contractors and MDT before we can see where the holes were to address that as a community. That for 78, for even maybe by Bozeman, Cody, those entrances. So we are looking into that, where the holes are, where we need to put signage.
Okay, so as I understand it, Patty, it's kind of up to the community to provide the kind of further out signage, warning, the kind of first thing that you might gain an impression about our town. That's going to be up to the community to decide. What's the very first thing that will be placed by a contractor? What will they read? What will as I'm driving into Red Lodge and I see the first sign that's placed by a contractor warning me about what I'm about to experience, what will that sign look like and say? And
It will be a variable message, am I correct?
No.
Where's
It'll
Stefan?
be road work next
1 mile.
6 miles. Well, first you'll be G20, which would be the road work next 6 miles. Then after that, you would have a fines double in construction. And that'll be about a mile outside of the construction limits. The actual work zone will be. So yeah, so for instance, outside of town here, going past the Bury, it'll be from the end of the job. It'll be at least a mile back, maybe just a little bit more roughly. The same thing on the other end of town as you come in from the closed road now. It'll be a mile back from the beginning of the project, and then we'll have road construction sign going up every road that comes in, there'll be some warning,
It'll be close to the
but it'll
job
be
though.
way closer to the job. Other than that, we aren't gonna have anything in Billings or anywhere out in the outlying areas warning people that, to stay away from Red Lodge. We want them here.
Right.
And we want them here, so.
And the sign that we took up a collection to make last year that went on the chamber parking lot that says downtown Red Lodge is open is still sitting at the chamber, and if we can get things worked out, we want that to be sitting right next to the first sign you see coming in from the north.
And, yeah, just that
Perfectly right
Junction
above it.
7, has that sign protected,
Oh.
so. But also, for MDT, he said this morning that that's a nationally, the mandated signage. They have the same rules applied to every city across the nation, so they have the standard requirements that they have to meet.
Well, it's the rodeo parade down Broadway that's more
Parade.
effective than the rodeo.
You know, and I understand you guys want hard dates, but I can't tell the future, so I don't know
I
what's
think
gonna
what she was
happen.
asking for is just essentially a promise
I can't.
that the roads and the businesses will be accessible during the time of year when the entire town makes its money. Well, it's at the mountain.
It's critical path.
It's-
It's critical past that.
That's in our
Okay.
mind.
I think that's what the whole
That's our-
town wants
Our
is-
goal is to have it open.
And I'm
I
not
don't
trying
think
to
my
be-
business is
everybody still
atypical,
confused
but-
that the only detours are from 8th going that way north?
if there are sidewalk corners torn up for ADA compliance
Right.
that limit access to any of our businesses, you know, the point Amber's making, I think her business is similar to mine in this. My July sales are triple my April sales. We cannot lose July and August. There,
And I'm on a corner.
Yeah.
Just so you know. So if the corners turn out.
Let's not leave out June.
well, yes, yes.
Just as big as the rest of them. We lost that last year.
Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Maybe you need to reiterate that the actual milling and paving takes through town may take 2 days.
Yeah, it's not, it's project status review.
Let me jump in first.
Just a second, everyone.
Let this lady have the floor. She's had her hand up for 10 minutes.
Hold on, let me jump in, I might be able to help some of
She'll get it next, I
this.
know that we'll do,
I might jump in. I'm Stephen Streeter, again, the division administrator. A couple of things. This is not last year's project. That was not MDT, that was not the state of Montana, and we do things a little bit different. We have listened to the community. We worked with this community for years on this project, listening, working with the chamber, working with the city council to make sure that we had in place public relations specialists, to make sure we had in place business access, to make sure that we have construction zones that are narrow. And you have to build the road, so you have impact. So the construction zones are fairly short. That one's done, they move on to the next one, The downtown area, it's gonna be a mill and fill, we call it. So they're gonna come in, leave two-way traffic running through the downtown, probably 2 to 3 days maximum to mill. The downtown area, I'm speaking, he's the expert,
I
he's
know.
the expert.
I'm not
You guys
familiar,
used to
right?
be
Yeah,
in the
traffic control, yeah. Yeah, we used to years ago.
Used to be. So 3 days to mill, probably 2 days to pave back. The whole time they're doing that, there's gonna be two-way traffic downtown. The only impact will be all the ADA corners. They're not gonna tear up every corner so people can't get to you. When they're doing this corner, they'll have accessibility around the corner so that you're not shut off. There is a few exceptions to some businesses, I believe, have to build ramps into their front doors. So there is gonna be impacts to those businesses to get ADA into their businesses. We'll work with those business one-on-one to figure out the best way we can accommodate them as an individual. So everything from 8th Street all the way through to the hill will always have traffic. People will get to your businesses, they'll be able to get in when we close a corner, there'll be other routes to get it into your business. Most people like to jaywalk across the street. But, so there'll always be access from 8th down. From 8th back, there's the 3 zones, and those will be closed. There'll be the detour routes. On the detour routes, there'll be signs, to the spa, go here. So if you're on the detour route, there'll be a spa sign, go there, and they'll find a way to get people to your business, find a way to get people to the tire business. And that's a requirement. They will. The other thing that really, I heard it a few minutes ago, but it was sort of faint, is there is gonna be weekly meetings. So if you're not getting the level of service that you think you should,
or we're not doing what we promised we would, we're gonna have regular meetings every Wednesday morning here in this office.
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Okay.
Open to the public. You're welcome to come. Linda won't be here to all of them, but Goran will be here. Our engineer project manager, Mr. Dykeman, will be here, or somebody from his staff to listen to your concerns and try to address them. Unfortunately, there is going to be impact. You know, we're doing everything we can, or we think we can. We got the radio station, the message boards, the signage, paved detours so that the motorcycles are safe. We put a lot of thought over many years working with the local community to make this the best we can for you guys. We heard you. And we don't want you to suffer any more than you have to. But we do have to build a road. And so there is going to be some inconvenience, there's going to be some impact, but we're going to try to limit it. We're going to try to do the very best we can, and we're going to give you a voice. You have that opportunity to come in and say, what about? You said you get me people to my spa, you're not getting them there. What about? And it won't be months, you'll have that opportunity. You'll also have a phone number that the public can call 24 hours a day.
It's right here.
It's on the form. There's the website. There'll be regular articles. Their city has offered to use their Google Blast, so if you get your name and your email address over here, any updates, changes, any delays, anything that impacts the project will go out on that. You'll get that almost instantaneously. And so we're hoping with everything we've done and all the work we've put into this, that it's the best it can be for you. And when we're done, we're gonna have a beautiful project that everybody hopefully is very proud of. So hopefully I answered a lot of the questions in the back, some of the business.
To voice concern again about the rodeo and that whole month of July, you know, we're not gonna wanna work when you guys are at your business time, because it's slow for us as well, if we do that. So we will try to accommodate 8th to Robinson and have as much of that done and open and everybody can flow through there. We'll try our best. Again, we can't, you know, I hate to promise anything, but, you know, we understand the dates that you guys have and that you do most of your business in July and August. We do understand that. The state understands that. That's why they wrote the contract as they do. So just know that if you are, you know, like they're saying, if you're a business owner or resident, come to these weekly meetings. Linda, you know, her email is wide open. Send her all the emails. We'll answer them. We'll try our best, and we'll try our best to accommodate everything that we can. And just know, like Linda said, that this is a living document, meaning that it could change, and it probably will